In this video we're going to make a little Easter lamb, ideal for a cake topper. So we're going to use modelling paste so it dries hard. I've got some that's ready dyed, which we're going to make with our base. So this is the Renshaws green one. So we're going to roll it out. So I'm rolling it out, but I'm keeping it reasonably thick. Try and get it even thickness if you can. I'm just using a round cutter to cut out a circle. So I'll pull that from around the edges and let that pop out. So that's our little base. Now, if you've got loads of time to make this, you might find that you're able to do it without adding internal support, because you'll be able to leave it to dry in between sections. If not, add internal support like what I'm doing, but bear in mind that you can't let children just eat them if we've got internal support. So we're going to take a couple of cocktail sticks and now we're going to get some white modelling paste. So again, I'm going to use the Renshaws one. It's a lot easier than making it yourself, or I think it is, especially if you're short of time. So I'm going to cut some off and knead it till it goes nice and soft. You'll feel it's a lot thicker than normal fondant. So what we're going to do now is create 4 legs of our lamb. So I'm going to take a ball and roll it into a sausage shape. And what I want is it to be a little bit thicker at the bottom than at the top. And we want to create 4 that match. Okay, so I've got my 4 legs there. And what I'm going to do is stand all 4 upright on my base that I've made. Ooh, if you can get them to balance. Okay, so if you've got time, you can let them dry. We're going to attach them just with a little bit of water to our green base. But if you're in a bit more of a rush, what we'll do is we'll add cocktail sticks through each leg to hold them in place. So we'll push it through the centre so it comes out the bottom. Okay. And then we can stick that into the base as well. And we're just going to put a little bit of water on the bottom of our leg. Put it on our base and push that cocktail stick in. And we'll do the same with all the others. Now at the moment, because the cocktail sticks stick out quite a bit, when we put the body on, they'll come through the top of the body. So we're just going to cut a little bit off the top of each one. If you've got time, let them stiffen a little bit so that when we put the body on, they don't shrink down too much. So we're going to take some more modelling paste for our body. So we're going to start by rolling it into a ball. I'm just going to check against my body that size-wise it's about what I'm after. So we're going to keep it in this ball shape and we're just going to roll it till it becomes a little bit of a teardrop shape. So it's thicker at one end and thinner at the other. And we're going to pull this end up, which will be our little lamb's neck. So we'll just pull that up just a little bit. It doesn't want to be by too much. Okay. And then if you want, you can add a tail. We'll just use some scissors to snip that in like that, and we'll just round it off just a little bit. And that's our basic sheep body. Okay. So you can put a bit of water underneath, and what you're going to do is just push the body onto your legs. So I don't know how well you can see it from that angle, but we're going to let that set a little bit before we put the head on. And just to secure the head in place, we're going to stick a cocktail stick into the neck like that and let that dry. That way when we put the head on, it's not going to pull the whole thing forwards. So I've let this one harden. So I have left this one overnight. And what we're going to do now is create the head, again with our modelling paste. So I'm going to start with a ball for my head. And again, we're going to roll it so it becomes a little bit of a teardrop shape. So we've got it narrower at our nose end and thicker where the rest of our face is going to be. Okay. And what we're going to do is, you can use a cocktail stick for this, that's fine, is we're just going to put in a little nose at either side, so just a little line either side. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not. It's a little line, almost in an arrow shape pointing downwards. And then I'm going to do another little line just below for the mouth, and again either side for our little mouth. So I'm just smoothing where I want my eyes to go. So I think I'm going to put them about here. And what I'm going to do is just using the bottom of my paintbrush, I'm just going to poke a hole in for the eye socket at either side of the nose like that. If you want the eyes a little bit bigger, just widen the holes by wiggling them around just a little bit like that. Okay. And what we're going to do is just put a little bit of water on the top of our neck, and we're going to stick this onto our cocktail stick that we'd put on there. Positioning it how you'd like it to face, so you might want it to go to one side. Now we're going to give it a couple of ears. So again, you only need a small amount of your modelling paste, which we're going to roll into a teardrop shape, and we're going to flatten it. So teardrop shape, and then we've flattened it. So I guess it's a bit leaf shaped now. And what we're going to do is just put a little bit of pink dust in the centre of each ear. So it is edible, this one. This is just an edible colour dust that I'm putting inside the ears like that. And then what I'm going to do is fold them slightly, pinching them inwards a little bit. And we'll stick them on either side of our sheep's head. We're just going to put a little bit of the pink dust on the edge of the nose as well. So just around the edge of the nose, if you can get it on there. And then we're going to give him a couple of black eyes. Not literally like he's been punched, but we're going to roll 2 balls to put in the eye sockets of black fondant. So just a little bit of water in there. So again, I've just got some black Renshaws, one that's ready coloured. And the ball wants to be just about this right size to slot in the eye socket. So that one's going to be a bit big. Make that a little bit smaller. Again, a little bit big. We're just going to drop those in our eye sockets. Like that. Okay, so I've put some royal icing into a little piping bag. Now I've been lazy and I've just bought a piping bag, but you can make them. I do have a video on this. So we're going to start by just piping little dollops all over our lamb's body. Now you don't want to do it on the main bit of the face or the legs. So we'll start with his head. Now I've got a PME 42 nozzle on, but you can just use a normal little nozzle. So I'm just going to squeeze little dots all over. Not coming too far forward on the face. And it might be that if you don't want to use royal icing, you can just roll lots of little balls of fondant to stick on instead. Whichever you find easiest, both look nice. So I'm going to keep going until I've covered the back of the head now and the body. So I've gone round all over the body now, piping my royal icing over. So I think that's now about done. And for the finishing touch, we're just going to add a little bit of white. So again, it's just food colouring, just to each eye, just to finish it off. And if you want, you can add a little flower or something to the base at the bottom. And that's it, that's your little Easter lamb finished. Thank you for watching.
If you liked this video and would like to see more, please click on the images of the other videos suggested. Also, please do subscribe to my channel using the button at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. You can also visit my cake website and my Facebook page to see more cakes and ideas.